Yo, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, kind of wanted to give you guys a sort of an intro because today's video is quite significant compared to the others. Since we're coming towards the end of this current Street Fighter 5 patch and we're going on to a new patch, of course we got more characters coming and balance patch and all that good stuff, right? I sort of wanted to make a matchup chart, a final matchup chart for this current patch for Falk, because I do get a lot of questions asked. Oh, does Falk beat this character? What's her matchup chart? Which V trigger should I use? Yeah, I've got all of that in this video coming. I just wanted to make a quick intro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, share. Oh, and one more thing. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these sort of intros before I start the actual intro on the video. Let me know if you guys want more this one-to-one sort of time. I could do that too. Let me know. But yeah, we'll catch you guys after the video. 7-3. So for my 7-3 matchup, now Falk doesn't have. I used to think she didn't have any 7-3s, but now I think about it, she has one. I can only think of one character Falk beat 7-3 in this game. He's right there. Ed. The reason why I put Ed at 7-3, Ed has like no approach against Falk. He literally has no approach against Falk. Everything he has to, he can either dash or jump. He has no safe approach. Nothing that is really legit. He has no legit way of getting in. You can pretty much beat Ed by just regular zoning. You don't need to overextend at all. I mean, he can reversal your strings into shot and get a punish on the other side, but then he's got to do hard reads, and you don't really need to do strings into shot against Ed. You can pretty much just zone him down with crouching medium punch. Even if you press stand medium kick, you don't even have to cancel into shot. And most of the time you do cancel into shot as if you're checking the dash. Of course, online and stuff, it's a lot harder because S dash is very cheap. S dash is good regardless, but all you have to look at is the dash and the jump. A lot of Falk players actually ask me how I deal with Ed. They seem to struggle. The thing is, they keep getting caught with stuff like his charge fierce because they want to contest or jump out. You can literally just hold the block. It's a -2 situation. It's not that scary in general. You might be scared of him doing Sakura upper, but you can just jab in between and then still block the upper in time because it's very delayed. Similar to Falk's, but it's a lot more delayed than Falk's. Because Ed Sakura upper, some characters can actually press mediums and still be able to block. So yeah, Ed doesn't really have an approach at all. Like, at all. Don't have an approach at all. So that's why I've got Ed at 7-3. Matchup is very easy. 6-4s. Alright, 6-4s. 6-4s, we got Abigail. This, people could have probably guessed. 6-4 matchup. You know, Abigail's got to find his way in. Abigail's still Abigail at the end of the day. You know, if he gets in, you're done for. It doesn't matter what character you are. But what he has to do to get in is just a bunch of risk. Now, he can use EX armor or even the regular armor. Now, Falk has a DP which hits multiple times, so it can actually break through the armor. EX DP would go through the EX armor, and regular DP will go through the non-EX version of his run. Yeah, Abigail's got to get in. He gets zoned out by forward hard punch, crouch medium punch. All of her normals really just zone him out. He's got to take risk. When the risk pays off, of course he wins, but most of the time they don't pay off. It's hard getting in general. Matchup is a little similar to. We've got Zangief over here. This is another 6-4. This is another 6-4. This is a 6-4, but it's a very scary 6-4. But he gets like jabs, and when the jab actually hits you, your character, of course, is still in place for a certain amount of time. And then that's kind of when you have to guess if he's going to do a stand jab or crouch jab into SPD or stand hard kick or whatever he's going to do. And it's kind of scary. So you want to sort of beat Geef without getting him to that point, which you can do. But when he's got V-Trigger 1 ready, you can't throw any more fireballs. So now you have to sort of be in that mix-up. If you press on normal, he might just flex it in neutral. But still, the nature of the matchup, Geef has to get in, and it's not easy. V-Skill 2 helps Geef more, though. It helps Geef more. Can definitely play it well. Nah, I'd say it's a 6-4. Falke has too many advantages in this matchup, especially with V-Skill 2. Falke has too many advantages in this matchup. We're going to put Sagat as a 6-4. This is a good matchup for Falke too. Reason being, Sagat loses the fireball wall straight up. I can go underneath his tiger shots, his high tiger shots, and his low tiger shots. I can just do crouch and shot against it every time and win. I can react to it mid screen and full screen. Of course, not when I'm close to him because they're too fast. Of course, I have longer normals. So if I have a life lead and he can't just play the fireball wall and he tries to walk forward, I've got the longer range normals, the full hard punch, crouch, medium punch. I've got an easier anti-air than he has because he has to do a DP, whereas I actually have to do 2 punches. I have better conversions from the normals that I whip out in neutral. He's got good conversions like V-trigger and stuff, and when he presses his heavies or crash counters. But I have the better conversions when it comes to just like buffering things in general. He'll buffer into EX Fireball or EX Knee, while I'll buffer into Catapult and then get some Oki and better pressure. And with V-Skill too as well, even if you don't have a life lead, say you're playing the Fireball game wrong, and Sagat has a life lead and he's sort of trying to sit on it, you can, since you outzone him, you can actually throw out V-Skill 2 and walk him down. He'll throw out fireballs, but if you keep evading them, the V-Skill 2 eventually is going to reach up to him, and then he's going to have to move or just take the grade damage. And of course, V-Skill 2, the explosion is very plus on block, so you can just dash up and gain some ground. Very, very useful. What about his Tiger Knee with V-Skill 2? His Tiger Knee with V-Skill 2 is actually, it does help, but the problem is the spacing. He has to get into that space where it's useful. And Falke doesn't really allow him to do that too much. And I can even react to Tiger Knee with EXDP because it's one bind with Falke. If he just does it like in neutral, I can actually see it coming. Birdie. Birdie, birdie, birdie. Alright, so Birdie, right? I'm going to put Birdie right here. I don't think the Birdie matchup is as easy as Abigail, Geef, and Sagat. Reason being, Birdie has a full screen EX move that he can throw out. Now, you think about Falke's normals, right? Of course, he's got slow walk speed and all, but you think about Falke's normals, it has a lot of recovery. If I throw out forward hard punch and it whiffs, you can punish that with EX Bullhorn. And of course, Birdie's corner pressure is still one of the best corner pressures in the game, regardless. Like his corner pressure with meaty, stand light kick, and then I can't even DP in between because he's only pressuring with lights, and then there's the fear of command grab. If I DP, he can still block it after doing a meaty. It's just so scary. And the threat of him just throwing out EX Bullhead is so scary all the time. Anything will lead to me being in the corner. Whereas Falke actually has control in the neutral. It's all about when are you going to make that one mistake. And it's just constantly scary. And again, at Street Fighter 5, it's just so hard to play perfect. You can't just play perfect every single time. Because you're going to play a different way against different opponents. And different opponents are going to take different approaches that you're not always going to know or you're not always going to be ready for. So it's just hard to always play perfect. In general, it's just difficult. Now, obviously, Falke can use her charge shot to go through Bullhorn, to go through the EX Bullhorn, but then again, that's also a read because if he decides to, thanks for the follow there. If he decides to do the Bullhorn that goes through the fireballs on wake up, that now beats it. So I'm guessing on his wake up. So yeah, that matchup is definitely not as easy as Abigail and Geef. Definitely have to work for a lot more. It's more scary. Alright, who we got next here? That might be it for the 6-4s, to be honest, that she wins. No. Another 6-4. I missed the 6-4 and I went to the 0.5. Let me put a 6-4 up there. Colleen. Colleen. Now, I actually think this is a 6-4 matchup in Falke's favor. I'm more scared of the Birdie matchup than the Colleen matchup. Now, Colleen, we all know her V-Trigger 2, she can get any character with that. Same way Abigail can get any character with his V-Trigger. Doesn't matter who it is. But when you think about outside of V-Trigger, right? What does Colleen do to get in? She can't throw her hail. She can't throw a fireball because I can do forward hard punch to interrupt in between, or I can do a catapult to even get a knockdown. If I'm close enough, I get target combo. You're not jumping, you're not dashing. You're not going to do EX Vanny step. I got an answer for every single one. What do you do in that match? You can't just play the neutral either, because you get outzoned. You just get outzoned. It's similar to Ed, but the problem with Ed, what lets him down, Ed doesn't have that V-Trigger to just pop, and now you're a threat. Doesn't have that. His V-Trigger 2 is trash. His V-Trigger 1 is trash. I'm sorry. I love Ed. I play Ed. His V-Triggers are not good. I'm sorry. They're just not it. They get shot down too easily. Colleen has the V-Triggers. That's what makes a difference. And she just gets that one throw, and now you're just thinking, okay, I've got to take how many throws because I don't want to get crushed, da. And then she becomes a threat, and now you're looking out for throws, and you get caught by dash up, crouch, medium punch. You just get caught by everything else because you're looking for other things. She's a threat. She's always a threat. But the matchup in itself, when you actually look at what she can and can't do, she's limited. She can't do a lot against Falke. She cannot do a lot against Falke. If she whiff punch, she can actually punish forward hard punch on block up close with EX Parabellum, but that's not at every range. And if she whiff punishes Falke's forward hard punch as a whiff punish, or even her crouch and medium punch as a whiff punish, she gets the hit, but if she cancels into EX Parabellum, the Parabellum will whiff because she's hitting my stick and my whole entire body is still like further away. So yeah, she doesn't get that much off of whiff punish in Falke. You have to whiff punish like her kicks. Pretty much it. Alright, moving on. Alex? Okay. Alex. Let me think about this. Okay. This is a 5-5. This is a 5-5 in my opinion. I think this is a 5-5. I think this matchup is very based on the life lead. Whoever has the life lead dominates this match. Pretty much whoever has life lead dominates this match. If Alex has a life lead, Falke doesn't have a straight up approach against Alex. I use V-Skill 2 in this matchup. V-Skill 1 doesn't help with anything apart from getting Vimeo on hit, which V-Skill 2 does anyways. He has no fireballs. He punishes V-Skill 1 on block at longer ranges. So there's no need to use V-Skill 1 as Falke against Alex. But I use V-Skill 2. When you use V-Skill 2, you can't just throw out V-Skill 2 because of course he's got full screen special moves that will reach you. So you can only really do it on hit, right? After tire combo and stuff, or after knockdown. If Alex has the life lead, he's just going to lame you out. Crouching medium punch is a very good neutral tool against Falke. You just lame him out, crouching medium punch, you try to get close, he'll do safe elbows that you can't punish. It's just difficult. But then Falke can also do the same. When I have the life lead, he can't just throw out any EX stomps. He can't do any of that because I react to those with DP or jump even. So whoever has the life lead, the other person has to overextend somehow. He can deal with fireballs because obviously he's got EX stomp. It's a scary matchup on, not scary, but it's a very annoying matchup on both ends depending on who has the life lead really. Depending on who has the life lead. And of course, if I have the normals, I have better normals in terms of range, which is good. You probably thought about that. But then those normals get whiff punished by elbow, you know. If the Alex player has good spacing and I'm pressing forward hard punch and stuff, he can whiff punish that on reaction with elbow because I'm still recovering. That's one of Falke's biggest issues is recovery. Her normals have way more recovery than a lot of people think. It's very whiff punishable. Same with crouch and medium punch, stand fierce. You see any of those whiff, that's an easy elbow for punish and a knockdown. And then Alex has a command grab that I have to deal with. So yeah, I think this matchup is even. Pretty even. If I do air fireball against Alex, he can also do the EX, what do you call it? The EX, the up kicks. That also goes through fireballs and stuff. So yeah, I have to think about how to jump. So if I don't have a life lead, I can't jump. I can't. What do I actually do? I have to just walk him down and walk and block. Scary. All right, Blanca. This matchup is hard. This is a hard matchup for Falke. Blanca is just you can't zone. You can't really zone Blanca with Falke. It's very difficult. First of all, Blanca's V skill 1. Right? You'd think Falke can just anti-air because her DP is just two punches, right? You'd think. His V skill 1 jump when he jumps, he's very low to the ground and it actually beats Falke's regular DP most of the time. You either it's gonna trade or you're just gonna get counter hit and lose, and then you don't want to eat all that damage from Blanca. Very annoying fight that. Of course, his V triggers. Falke doesn't really have a free frame to like interrupt his V trigger stuff, and little gaps is very scary. She has to sort of hold a lot of things. His throw game is good. Good frame traps with the lightning bolt. It's just I haven't played this matchup that much either. We don't have many Blanca players here, but from what I've played against the like Verdoyans, this matchup is not good for Falke. It is not good. I've talked to Wolfgang about it as well. He thinks the same. He thinks the same about this matchup. I don't like this one. I'm going to keep this one as 6-4 for Blanca. What else we got here? Vega. Alright, Bolt Strike. Vega. This matchup. Here we go. 5-5. What do you think about that, Bolt Strike, huh? We got 5-5. I think this matchup is a 5-5. It's similar to the Alex matchup again. Whoever has the life lead kind of just determines the pace and the flow of the game. Now, we both have normals. We both have far-reaching normals. He has a forward hard punch. I have a forward hard punch. Very similar. The neutral, we kind of play neutral the same way. Now, he can actually whiff punish my normals a lot better than I can whiff punish his. Because if he's whiffing out his crouching medium punch, no, his standing medium punch actually, that's the one they whiff out. If he's whiffing that out, it's a lot harder to whiff punish than if I was whiffing out forward hard punch or my crouching medium punch. You know, his normal is a lot faster, so he gets those little hits. But the difference is he's getting those little hits as whiff punishes on my my hurt box. Whereas if I whiff punish him, it's gonna hurt a lot harder. So the damage output is in Falke's favor from like mid screen, I believe. But he has the walk speed to walk in and out of my normals. That's the issue. Walk speed kills Falke a lot of the time. Has very good walk speed to walk in and out of my normals, like the ranges of my normals. It's got a command grab, I got to deal with that, but I got a DP, so it's not really a 50-50 for the command grab. It's more of like a 25 to 75 because I have the DP. It's rock, paper, scissors. It's not just rock and paper, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that was kind of bars, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, this matchup is pretty even. It is pretty even. Pretty even. Whoever doesn't have the life lead struggles in neutral. That's pretty much it. You think Vega beats yeah. Bulldog. Got to Bulldog? Alright. Right. We got Bulldog 7-3 in Bulldog's favor. This matchup, first of all, in the neutral, you're in the mix-up already. In this matchup, standing still in the neutral, you're already in a mix-up. If you walk forward, you're at risk. First of all, hold on, what did I just do? If you walk forward, you're at risk already, right? You throw out normals, you're at risk. If you jump, it's not happening. How do you start your pressure? You're not just going to zone him out. You throw a fireball, it's not happening. He's got tap, he's got V skill 1, he's got V skill 2. You throw out any low shot, any jump shot, he's got a fully charged tap waiting for you. How do you get in? I'm going to be honest here. The only way I beat good Bulldog players is simply by playing to my opponent's bad habits. That's literally it. I play to expose my opponent's bad habits. That is how you actually win this matchup. You don't win by beating Bulldog the character. You win by exposing your opponent's bad habits. That is actually how you win. You don't just beat the character. I've seen a lot of people put this matchup as, oh, it's only slightly in Bulwark's favor, but I really don't really get much explanation. I heard someone say, I can't remember who it was, although I would say the name. By the way, this is not me exposing anyone or anything. This is just me just stating my opinion. I'm not trying to deal with all that Twitter nonsense. But yeah, this matchup is hard. It's very hard. Very, very hard. You can't play neutral, so you don't really have a solid approach. There is no solid approach. The same way with Ed. What does Ed do to approach Falke? We already went through that. He doesn't have a solid approach. If your opponent doesn't have a solid, any form of thing they can actually do to start approaching the matchup, it's 7-3 or worse. 6-4 means there's a 4 out of that 10 chance to actually win. Do you know what I'm saying? That is not realistic when it comes to Bulwark. There's not much Falke can actually do in that matchup. Not much. Yeah, you can actually stuff dash straights with light buffers and medium buffers and all of that. But if I stuff that, right, I'm gonna get, say we have no meter, none of us have meter. If I stuff that, I'm gonna get stand medium kick, sorry, as a buffer in neutral, by the way, stand medium kick into catapult. Or say I go and stand medium kick into tire combo for the Oki, right? He takes a throw, it's back to neutral. I'm not scary after that. My character ain't scary after that. Whereas what could happen is I whiff stand medium kick, because I'm not reacting to dash straight. Nobody is. You're literally buffering it in case they actually do it, right? If they just do it 1 second later, I get counter hit, and he gets a counter hit combo from that straight, and he's still in my face, and I'm in the corner, and I could possibly lose. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the risk reward is just not... You have to guess right so many times for the match to go your way, you know? And the thing is, it's not even you have to guess right in terms of, you know, when the guess is going to happen. You don't even know when the guess is going to happen, because you don't know when he's going to do anything in the neutral. You're pretty much just throwing things out there. Unless you clearly know the player inside out, then that's a different matter. But yeah, this matchup is just, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. What else do we have here? Okay, Cody. You know, this matchup here. This matchup right here, right? I want to put this. I've been thinking about the Cody matchup a lot recently. And I think I want to put this right here. I think Cody wins this matchup slightly. Now, Falke has the longer normals against Cody, right? Cody hasn't got the best walk speed in the world, but she's got the better normal, so of course you're gonna outrange him. I can react to his fireballs from relatively close up. I can actually V-skill 1. I use V-skill 1 and V-trigger 1 in this matchup. I can actually react to his fireballs fairly close up. EX fireball is something that Falke can't really deal with. If he throws out EX fireball, it hits like 3 times, right? It hits 3 times. I can't really do much about it. If I use standing shot to blow out the fireball, because standing shot also hits 3 times, he can actually jump on a reaction, because I'm still recovering from the shot. It has a lot of recovery. So that's not an option. I can't low shot underneath it because it moves too slow, so I still get knocked down by it. I kind of have to just hold it if I don't just react and jump. You have to hold that. So that's free pressure Cody gets. Now, Cody hasn't got the best walk speed, but if I whiff anything, he can easily do EX Zonk. And now he's got level 2 Zonk, level 3. He could be charging anyone at any time, so it's kind of like very scary. The risk reward between me throwing something out that's going to do like, I don't know, like 20 damage to him charging a whole Zonk into a knockdown, into Oki. The risk reward ain't in my favor for that. Yo, thanks for the sub there, Rames. Appreciate that. I mean the follow, sorry. Yeah, the risk reward ain't really in my favor there. And then also Cody, the knife V-trigger 1 for Cody is actually good in the Falke matchup. I can't really deal with him throwing out the knife because I can't low shot it. For some reason it doesn't count as a projectile, but yeah, I can't really low shot it. so I have to deal with that. Makes the neutral better, so he actually can compete with Falke's range with it. And also V-Trigger 2 is also very good against Falke because he's got the command grab, he's got the setups, he's got better whiff punishing with the pipe as well into EX, does more damage. So he can actually use either V-Trigger in the matchup. So when Cody actually has EX bar, he's kinda a lot more scary than Falke is. When nobody has bar, Falke can do alright. But when he has bar, which is probably the majority of the round, it gets scary. I can V-reversal them, but then I'm giving up V-Trigger. I better keep that life lead, or I better have a life lead in the first place if I'm going to be V-reversaling all of his EX zonks. And then again, Falke only has 2-bar triggers, so I'm never going to have 3 V-reversals to V-reversal 3 EX zonks. I'm always going to have to hold 1 if he has 4 bar. And that 1 could be the one he activates V-Trigger from, and I die. So yeah, I think just talking from a risk-reward perspective, I think Cody slightly beats Falke on that one. Slightly. Alright, who's next? Cammy! Oh, okay. Cammy. Alright, we got Cammy. We got Cammy over here. Who remembers when Falke first came out and calling her like the Cammy killer, the Cammy slayer, all of those things? People thought she was the answer to Cammy. People really thought she was the answer to Cammy. That's crazy. There's no such thing. There's actually no such thing in this game. She's definitely not the answer to Cammy, guys. She's definitely not. This is a hard matchup for Falke. Her mobility is just too good. Simply put, her mobility is too good. Her walk speed is too good. Her backdash is too good. She has a 6-frame fierce, which stuffs any normal I try to put out as Falke. She can whiff punish all of my normals with her fierce. Now, you look at most characters in this game, when they're whiff punish, certain buttons that they're whiff punish, right, they have to sacrifice using like the heavy buttons and whiff punish with a medium at least. She has a 6-frame fierce, so every whiff punish she goes for, she doesn't really have to think about what button to press. It's always going to be fierce into spiral arrow. It's ridiculous. And then I'm in the corner. No free frames, so you don't have to fully space your dive kicks. You can not space them right, and I still can't press because I ain't got a free frame, right? So you have a little bit more room to breathe there as a Cammy player. Throw game ridiculous. The pressure up close ridiculous. I can't press in between. I have to take huge reads, which most of the time you just get counter hit. It's just not it, guys. This matchup is just, you get steamrolled. That's what always happens. You just get steamrolled. It's winnable. 6-4. 6-4 is definitely winnable. I would take the Cammy matchup over the Bora matchup any day. It's still winnable, but it's 6-4. This matchup is hard. She can punish forward hard punch with CA at any range. She can punish forward hard punch with V-Trigger spiral arrow at any range. And that's forward hard punch. If any character makes Falke unable to use forward hard punch in neutral, 9 times out of 10, that character wins the matchup. Straight up, that character just wins the matchup. Because Falke isn't like those other zoners that have full screen normals. She's not Sim, she's not Poison. Monat, well, Monat, the orb is like an extension of herself, right? She's got the orb, calls it back. But, you know, she doesn't have the best range. Apart from fireballs, she doesn't have the best range with normals as a zoner. So, she zones you out at a mid-range. And at that mid-range, Cammy wins because her walk speed is too good. By the time you react to Cammy being in the range of your forward hard punch or crouching medium punch, and you think about pressing the button there, she can walk back out of that range before you even press the button. Chun-Li. This is an interesting one. This matchup used to be in Chun-Li's favor, in my opinion. It used to be here. You know, before V-Skill 2s existed, this matchup used to be like here. But now it's even. Now it's even. There's spaces in the neutral where Falke wins. Like right outside of where Chun-Li's stand fierce can reach you, right outside of that space, Falke wins. When she gets into that space where it'll reach you at max range, she wins. Because her normals are faster, so before I'll press anything, I'll get counter hit. Yo, Billy Hunter, thanks for the follow. So yeah, that range where she hits stand fierce at max range, if it hits, I would get counter hit if I press anything. And that's not just stand fierce. That would be stand medium, crouch medium, all of that. If I stand outside of that range, I can apply a sort of mid-range sort of zoning game with crouch and medium punch. At that range also, if she throws a fireball, a Kikosho, I can low shot on reaction and also get a punish without getting hit by the fireball on my way back up. So that's like the sweet spot. Full screen, Falk wins full screen. What you have to look out for though is if she does an EX fireball from full screen. You kind of want to be ready for that with a low shot so that she doesn't get the first dash. If she gets the very first dash after EX fireball, now you're in trouble. But if you react to the EX fireball from full screen and you get a low shot and she doesn't get the first dash, then you can actually evade the fireball before she gets the momentum to walk behind her fireball, similar to Gal. But yeah, I say it's even. The Vichuga is very scary. When she has Vichuga 2-1, it's very scary because at that range she gets in where she presses that fierce, at the stand fierce range where she can press fierce and any other button from there, she just gets too much damage from conversions. It makes you not want to press buttons anymore. And of course, if I do forward hard punch, she can block it relatively close and actually do EX legs to punish it on block. Punish that on block. Throw game is hard, is difficult as well. I'm sure she's like -1 after a dash after throw, right? If I'm not mistaken. Of course, Falk, no free frame. I gotta hold those block strings. What else we got here? Sim? We're saving Sim for last. I'm not even gonna talk about. We're saving Sim for last. All right, Fang. Fang is right here. Fang is right here with Cody. Fang is right here with Cody. Now, Fang outzones Falk slightly. The zoning kind of looks weird because we trade for damage every time we zone each other in the fireball. We trade for damage, but because he has the poison, I end up taking a little bit more damage than he does. So with Fang, right? Yeah, what would happen if I have a significant life lead against Fang, I would actually take the damage on the trade, even though he does more damage than I do, because his health is closer to 0, you know. So I would actually take that sometimes. Now, his pressure on block is a lot scarier. I have to hold things, but you just need to be very knowledgeable in this matchup. Now, I'm still not the most knowledgeable, but I still know my stuff. You can definitely V-reversal his coward crouch into kicks. If you V-reversal the first hit of that, you get the knockdown, which is very helpful, because that's how Fang players tend to start their pressure a lot of the time. Crossing up against... It's hard to cross him up. It's hard to cross up Fang. His anti-air, I think it's his crouch fierce, it's actually very good against cross-ups. It doesn't get talked about enough, but it doesn't really need to get talked about. I think he deserves it. It's actually pretty good against cross-ups. So the only way I really cross him up is when I do the dive kick. If I get the counter hit, I can get... Even if I don't get the counter hit, I can still get a cross-up sometimes, depending on what he's doing, but I have to be aware. What else would I say? The reason why he wins is just his pressure is just better than Falk's. He gets better pressure up close. It's pretty much what it is. And it's not just the pressure, it's the fact that if he gets me with any sort of poison moves, and then the grey health is going down, and then he's also applying pressure, so I'm eating chip damage from all of the pressure, and the grey health is going down because of the poison, then, you know, he gets a life lead a lot easier. Then once he gets the life lead, he can just back off, and if he backs off, it's back to the fireball game, which I lose. So yeah, I've got to work on my space. You got to really work on your spacing in that matchup to make sure you get the life lead. Definitely spend some bar in that matchup. You want to get an early life lead. You want to sort of make them irritated and want to come in on you. Yeah, that's what I think about the Fang matchup. We got Falk, of course. We're gonna put out 5-5. Falk up there. Oh, Gill. Gill. I think Gill's a 6-4. We're gonna put Gill up there. Alright, Gill. Gill's fireball. Gill only has one fireball that is effective against Falk. That's the ice. His ice fireball is effective against Falk because it's slow. It moves slow. He can walk behind it and do stuff. That's sort of his way in that matchup. Apart, he can use the fire fireball, but that just gets eaten by V-skill 1. So if you use V-skill 1 and V-trigger 1 in this matchup, you're good to go. Gill loses the neutral. Pretty easy. Loses the neutral. He's got to take risk. Can't really jump. If he does the EX air legs, the EX knee, of course I can anti-air that. Most of the time if I lose to a Gill player, they've gotten a good read on like a parry, and then V-trigger activation, and then I died. It doesn't really come from the neutral. You know, he has to take risk to actually get damage in on Falke. Now, things you can do to deal with his fireball, right? The slow moving one, the ice one. If you get a low shot going, if you react to it with a low shot from like mid-screen, and then you can actually block the ice before it gets to you. And then he would still be sort of stunned from the low shot. He'll still be in recovery mode from the low shot. And he wouldn't really be able to get much pressure for it. If you don't do that, then he'll be able to actually get in. So yeah, you just gotta be aware in that one. Pretty basic zone in this matchup, really. You don't need to do too much. Don't need to do too much. Alright. Akuma. Alright. We got Akuma. I actually made a video about why I think this matchup is 5-5 actually. I think this matchup is 5-5. I'll explain it again though. Alright, so when you think about Akuma, right? Akuma has to find his way in this matchup, right? Because Falke has the longer normals. Now, when we think about what Akuma has to do to get in on Falke, to actually just get in, let's talk about air fireball. Now, we have air fireball, right? We have an answer for his air fireball in Schneider, her DP. Regular version and EX version. Now, the issue with that is Akuma has multiple different timings of his air fireball. Now, depending on Akuma's timing on his fireball, we have to delay our timing on our DP, our anti-air. Now, we can't just react to his timing. We have to sort of be predicting and do things preemptively. Do you know what I'm saying? So, whether I get hit by his fireball or I DP his fireball through his fireball, it's pretty much a 50-50 chance. Right? Now, let's talk about Demon Flip. EX Demon Flip, regular Demon Flip, all of them, right? We can actually answer those with DP as well. DP. The issue with that is, if he does the Demon Flip where he gets a knockdown and then he does the Demon Flip, of course that's meaty, you can't really DP that. But if he just does it in neutral to get in, whether it's EX or it's EX, talk about EX version. The EX version, he's got so many different variations, it's hard to know which one's coming. Whereas the answer to every single one of them is the same. You can still DP every single one of them. But you don't know which one's coming, so you don't know what timing you need to put on your DP. You don't know when you need to time it. So whether you're going to hit that DP or you're going to get hit is also pretty much a 50-50. Because if he does EX Demon Flip into EX Fireball, I can't just DP that. I need to actually slightly walk forward, go underneath the Fireball, and then DP that for it to hit. Whereas if he did EX Demon Flip into the palm, I don't need to delay anything. I can just do a straightforward DP and then it hits. So his approaches that he takes to the skies with, his aerial approaches, it's a 50-50 depending on the timing on both ends, like on both ends. The reason why you would think that, okay, Akuma would win because of risk reward, right? Risk reward. But then again, Akuma also has low health and Falke can dish out some really good damage in the neutral if he tries to just walk forward and whiff buttons or try to crush counter me. If I get a whiff punish for stand first or stand medium kit, he's going to eat a lot of damage. And Akuma with low health, you can't just afford to eat a lot of damage a lot of the time. I have answers for his V-Trigger 1 air fireball as well. So the Akuma gets forced to sort of, if he doesn't want to take those 50-50 bets, he's going to get forced to sort of use his walk speed, try to get in my ranges, use stand fist to get a crush counter, get something going. And yeah, it could really go either ways. If my spacing is on point, and I get those whiff punishes, Akuma can't take more than 2 hits into an EX before he's stunned, and then he's dead. I'm using V-Skill 2 in that matchup too. So with V-Skill 2 on the floor, if V-Skill 2 is literally on the field, Akuma has an extra layer to worry about, because he's not just going to get whiff punished or get hit by a buffer. He's going to get hit by the buffer, and then the orb is going to explode, and then I'm going to get another conversion from that, and then he's stunned after the next hit. So it's very scary with that low health, low stun. You don't really want to be in that situation. But then again, Akuma's approaches as well, he could easily just get in, get the right read, and then it's Akuma from there. It's literally Akuma from there. So yeah, that's what I think about that matchup. What we got here? G. G. Okay, we could talk about G. I'm put G over here. Alright, so this matchup, right? It's quite even. However, the risk reward is just heavily in G's favor. That's what makes this matchup what it is. The risk reward is just too heavily in G's favor. Now, Falk got the normals. You can zone, you can actually zone him out pressing forward hard punch most of the time. But then again, that one time he jumps, you know, he's got he's got really good fireballs as well, G. So you could get stuff out of your normals as you're pressing them. But then again, you can also get a crush count on him for trying to throw a fireball if you pressed it first. His V trigger, we all know about G's V trigger, bruv. Ridiculous. However, Falk has answers for his like when he does the dash punch into the V skill, I can DP through it and stuff. So she got answers for stuff like that. He's kind of got to still keep it sort of real, you know. He's got to keep it relatively safe. He can't just spam stuff all the time. But yeah, the whiff punishes from G, the light buffers. Again, it comes back to what Falk lacks. Her hurt boxes are too big. She has big hurt boxes for no reason. She gets whiff punish. Her staff, she just gets whiff punish all the time. So if you're just whiffing out light buffers as G or medium buffers, you're going to get Falk into the corner and then you can run your entire game plan. That's pretty much how this matchup usually goes. Unless you're able to just zone him out and deal with V-Trigger, which is definitely a possibility. But I just think that the risk reward is very heavily in G's favor, which makes this matchup a little bit more difficult. Gal. Alright, I'm going to put Gal here. I put Gal right here as well. So let's talk about the fireball wall with Gal first. The fireball wall is weird. So from mid-screen, Gal wins the fireball wall. Now from full screen, I think Falk wins the fireball wall. Gal has better walk speed, so he can actually dictate whether we're going to be playing mid-screen or full screen, first of all. So already from that, he has a slight advantage now. Gal's pressure up close is better than Falk's in general. I have to deal with a lot more stuff. Like, he'll hit you in the corner with crash medium punch, boom, crash medium punch, boom, boom, dash up, plus, throw, or he's going to go down forward hard kick. You got to guess. That stuff, the pressure up close, if he can just go from, okay, I'm losing the zoning, I can still go rush down. Whereas I can't really do that on the other hand. I still have to sort of stick to the roots, zone, make my way in type of thing. He can throw a light boom and walk behind it as well. It's a similar thing with what Cody can do and what Chun-Li can do, where he can just do it with a light boom. So that's another way in. So to keep it short, when he doesn't have a life lead, he has more ways in for free than I do. That's pretty much what it is with this matchup. I can bait flash kicks with dive kick. I can bait flash kicks with air shot. But then again, if I do air shot, he can do, I think it's heavy flash kick that goes through projectiles. He can do that. But then again, I could also bait it with dive kick and get a crush counter punish. He can do an air throw if he thinks I'm going to go for the bait. He can do a crouch fist, stand heavy kick, crush counter. He can do a lot. He has answers for my answers, but I have answers for his answers. So the only thing that really makes a difference is who is able to get in at will. And he's able to get in almost at will if I'm not fully ready. Whereas Falk hasn't got the ability to just get in at will. I wouldn't use V-Skill 2 in this matchup because then you're going to have to deal with booms. And your only answer to booms is going to be low shot or jump. Low shot has a lot of recovery. If he throws a light boom and I low shot, he can just jump. You know, you're only going to low shot heavy booms and medium booms because they travel at a faster pace. That's pretty much it. I'd use V-Skill 1, so at least I can just V-Skill them, get some V-meter. Who we got next? Let me catch up with chat real quick. V-Skill 2 and VT2 versus Gal. No, I don't. V-Skill 2 doesn't help that much versus Gal. Because then if you just keep checking booms, I gotta hold them. I don't want to hold all of those booms. When I use V-Skill 1 at full screen, the Gal player won't, I know that they're not going to want to throw heavy booms or medium booms. So now I know that it limits his options, because if he does that, I'm just going to absorb it and get V-meter for free. So what else is he going to do? He'll throw a light boom and then walk behind it to get in, right? Because he's not throwing heavy booms if I can just react. So if he's going to throw a light boom, I can now prepare for that. I can now prepare for that light boom and I'll be ready. And also EX boom as well. They might throw EX. Alright, who we got next? E-Honda. E-Honda, 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 E-Honda. E-Honda. Let me put E-Honda. Where are we gonna put Honda, bruv? This character. This character. It's going right there. This character's going right there. The only issue that I have with this matchup is the chip damage. Because the neutral in this matchup, right? It's a weird one. What happens is that the Honda player can just do, he can just keep spamming light headbutt, right? If he keeps spamming light headbutt, I lose a ton of grey health. Now, I can't punish light headbutt, right? The only thing I can do to retaliate is try to like deal the same amount of chip damage. Now, I don't deal the same amount of chip damage from a blocked light headbutt. So what happens in the neutral, it's all about who finds that first hit, right? Now, headbutt actually beats any normal Falk puts out. Like, if he was to do a headbutt and I would throw out forward hard punch or any sort of normal, headbutt would actually win. Like, majority of the time, headbutt would actually win. And then, of course, I get knocked down. So, if we're just blocking things, right? Say we're just blocking. He's doing headbutts, I'm blocking. I'm doing forward hard punch, he's blocking. What would happen is you see my health, Falk's health, going down, and then you'll see E-Honda's health going down, but just a little bit slower. So he would have that life lead to sit on. If he has a life lead, he can sit on it. There's not much I can do but walk forward, because headbutt's always an issue, and butt slam's always an issue, right? And of course, his hands. If he gets up close hands, it doesn't even matter if he doesn't even hit you. If you just take the blocks, just a bunch of grey health stacking up. Of course, if you reversal the hands, if you've had to reversal, most of the time you haven't had the life lead, and if you reversal, he'll go back to laming you out anyways. Whereas you would need that V trigger. I use V trigger 1, by the way. You would need that V trigger for a sort of comeback. I use V trigger 1 simply because it gives me the opportunity to actually get in. If I do an air fireball, right, and then I get the Honda player to block it, I can walk and gain some ground and possibly get a throw or shimmy or something. That's why I use V trigger 1 in a matchup. V trigger 2, I don't like using V trigger 2 in matchups where the overhead is useless. Now, because it gives her a new move, the overhead, right? Now, Honda is charging. 9 times out of 10, they're always charging, right? Now, if I was to do the overhead, you can easily just headbutt, butt slam, whatever it is, normal. It's not that useful for me. I don't like it. It just gives me better conversions from the neutral, but most of the time they're just laming you out. They're not really trying to play the neutral. They'll time out your V trigger. It's just not very useful for me. Not in this matchup anyways. But yeah, Honda, it's slightly in Honda's favor, man. Slightly in Honda's favor. And then he's got V trigger 1 as well. Now, all of Falk's zoning stuff is single hits, right? Forward hard punch, single hit. Crouch medium punch, single hit. As I was saying, right? Who are we on Honda? As I was saying, yeah, Honda's just, he deals too much chip damage, which puts me, it makes it an uphill battle from the get-go. Because if he deals more chip damage, now I have to now find a way to get in. And getting in on him is hard. That's why I use V-Score 2. But then again, he can react to my V-Score 2 because he has a lot of startup with headbutt. So I can't whip out V-Score to a neutral, meaning I can only do it after a knockdown, which is hard to get in the first place because he's holding down back and I can't walk. Because if I walk, he's got headbutt. So I now need to play a mind game. Whether am I going to jump? Am I going to do something? I need to sort of be ambiguous and try to do stuff. But yeah, I do small things against Honda. Like, if you jump, if you just do a random neutral jump or a back jump, anything, or if you just whiff a normal, like from like mid-screen, I would use that small amount of time that you jumped for no reason or you whiffed a normal, that small amount of time, I would actually use that to pull out a quick V-Score 2 in neutral. Because other than that, it will just get punished straight away. Small things like that make a huge difference because that's like my little way in. That's like the only thing I could have done to get in. So yeah, little things like that really matter. So we got Honda there. I'm doing a lot of talking today. Who else we got? Ibuki? Buki. What do I think about Ibuki, bro? We don't have many Ibukis here, guys. We have Pyramid Plaza. We had Gino. Gino doesn't play no more. We got Link Exello, but he plays like 5 characters. Buki. Do I want to put this here? Whoop's not there. I kind of want to put this at 5-5. I don't have the most knowledge on Ibuki, but from what I'm seeing, stand heavy kick as Ibuki is very useful against Falke. Falke doesn't have really an answer to stand heavy kick, apart from whiff punish it when she whiffs. But Ibuki's walk speed is quite good, that forward walk speed, so she only really presses it when she knows it's in range where it's going to hit. Can't really punish it. Great mix-ups as Ibuki. Of course, I got a DP, so doing air kunai isn't really an option when I got bar. Falke zones out Ibuki pretty well, though. Falke does zone out Ibuki pretty well. But the issue is, with her walk speed, she can walk into a range where if I do forward hard punch, and she has the EX rider, she can actually punish it at certain ranges. And then if she has V-Trigger 2 activation ready, I can't do forward hard punch because it gets punished by V-Trigger 2 activation. And then I've got to deal with a guess. So yeah, the small punishes is what kind of makes this matchup even. Because even though I win the neutral and stuff, her punish it, as soon as she gets V-Trigger 2, I can't use forward hard punch anymore. Like I'm limited. I'm already nerfed as soon as the activation is like ready. So I have to play a different way by using crouch medium and other things. Meaning I can't use forward hard punch. So she gets range. She can walk into the forward hard punch range now because I'm not going to use it anymore, am I? So now she can sort of play her game, and it's a lot scarier. You know, the only thing is, off of whiff punish, Falke definitely dishes out a lot more damage than Ibuki does. Ibuki has to go for mixes, whereas I actually just go for straight up damage. But I'm gonna leave that as there. I'm gonna leave that as a 5-5 for now. For now, at least. Jury. What do I think about Jury? Okay, we're gonna put Jury right here. I think Jury slightly wins this matchup because of what her light fireball does, right? Now you can actually get a trade with her light fireball. If Jury does light fireball in neutral, like mid screen, I can react to it with forward hard punch, and then I'll get a trade, and the trade is actually in my favor. But what that does now is that every time she has a light fireball, because if I just let her throw it out, she's gonna dash afterwards or walk behind it and get free pressure, right? So I don't want that happening. If I jump, it has a really good recovery, so 9 times out of 10 you'll get DP and you get anti-ed. Now what that does is, when she throws out light fireball, or if she has the light fireball store, if she has the light fireball store ready to go, I'm looking out for light fireball, right? But the thing is, now she could also jump or dash. It's kind of like Cammy with the dive kick. It's hard to look out for all of that at the same time. If she has the light stored, I'm going to be like, okay, I need to be ready for her to do light fireball. So I'm be reacting to her forward hard punch. If she jumps, I need to anti-air. Because it has barely any recovery. So as soon as she does it, it's there on the screen. That's the whole reason why it trades. If I could react to the start of it, my forward hard punch wouldn't trade with it. But I can't. I have to wait until it's actually on the screen for it to hit and trade. So yeah, it's kind of like a little mix up there. And if you think about the risk reward, if I think she's gonna go for a light fireball and she jumps, I get caught. That matchup, you could put it as even as well, but I'm gonna leave it as 4-5, just due to the fact that she also have anti-projectile moves. Falke loves throwing projectiles, she can go over them with the EX wheel kick. Her corner pressure is really good. When she has V-Trigger, I have to hold a lot of block strings and stuff. I think Ibuki will slightly take that. I haven't struggled in this matchup at all though against any Jury players over here, but when I think about the matchup myself, I think that Jury should be able to take it. And then of course, Jury's V-Skill 1. A lot of people don't do this, but Jury's V-Skill 1, when she has it charged, she can whiff punish damn near every normal I throw out. Forward hard punch, stand fierce, crouch medium punch, stand hard kick. Any normal I throw out, if it whiffs, you can whiff punish with V-Skill 1, get the knockdown all the time. All the time. We got Ken. Ken. What we got here? What can Falke do versus Ibuki? Akuna and EX Akuna. You can EXDP that. Alright, we got Ken. We're going to put Ken. What are we gonna pick him? I think I'm gonna keep Ken right here. My honest opinion, guys, I'm gonna keep Ken right here. Reason being, Falke wins this matchup, right? Falke has the better normals. Again, she has the better normals. I can go underneath his fireballs. He has to take risk. But the thing is, Ken's walk speed is quite good. He's got the run in V-Skill 1. So any small little thing I whiff in the neutral, because it has a lot of recovery, because Falke has a lot of recovery on her normals, of course he can whiff punish, but what you could also do is use what you could also do is use that whiff punishing time, right? He could use it to run. If he uses V-Skill 1 and runs, he would have enough time to block, because I'm still in recovery mode, right? He won't have enough time to actually hit me, but if I tried to hit a button, he would have enough time to block, before I recover. Now, just that in itself, you never want Ken in this matchup. You never want Ken to be up close to you in the first place. So just that in itself, they can do that. That's a win situation for him, because he's where he wants to be. The run is really good. Step kick is always an issue in this matchup, and then he can also throw fireballs at ranges where, like, if he throws light fireball, right, full screen, unlike Gao or unlike Chun-Li, where they just dash up afterwards, and I can throw like a low shot. I can throw a low shot to stop his light fireball, but I still have to deal with a fireball, because he can run behind it, not just dash or jump. He can actually run behind it, so he's always going to be behind his fireball regardless from full screen. It's quite difficult to deal with, and then I have to deal with his throw game. His dash is really good. EX dive kick actually makes my anti-air whiff a lot of the time. So if Ken does jump EX Tatsu, and I do DP or crouch face, he can actually make it whiff, similar to when Urien tries to anti-air that with crouch face. It goes on the other side, and then he gets a free punish, a free target combo into EX or into Tatsu, into the corner and stuff. So little stuff like that makes it so that Ken has opportunities to get in. Similar with Birdie, like I was saying, with Birdie, doesn't win the neutral and stuff, but he can definitely get opportunities to get in, and when he gets in, he's very scary in the corner. That also applies to Ken. That definitely also applies to Ken. What makes Ken not a 6-4 is the fact that someone like Gill isn't that scary in the corner. He's not as scary in the corner. Like, without V-trigger and stuff, and also Gill requires to have the whole retribution thing activated. He's got a lot of things that are required before he becomes scary, whereas Ken is just naturally scary. He gets Oki from anything as well, any knockdown. He's going to get the full-on Oki. I've got to deal with all that stuff. But then again, nature of the matchup, he needs to get in, and it's not that easy for Ken. So yeah, Falke takes that. Falke takes that. What else we got? We got Kage. There we go. Kage is pretty much the same as Ken, except with Kage, it's not the runs that he can get in, because he ain't got a run, but he can mix up his air approach. His air approach is pretty good. He can bait my DPs with jump fireball, because I'm only reacting to him jumping until a certain point up into the air before I do my anti-air. If he does a fireball, I just whiff it, and of course, a lot of recovery on that from Falke. I might get punished if he's close enough. If he does a regular jump, of course an anti-air, but then he's got the jump crouch medium kick, which is his dive kick sort of thing. Yeah, that stuffs my, it can stuff my anti-airs. If I do DP, my DP can get stuffed. EX DP will win. Crouch face can get stuffed, and then he gets a conversion from that. Now Kage's corner game is damn near just as good as Ken. The only thing is he hasn't got the Ken Oki, but if you're in the corner, it doesn't matter anyways. He's got the damage. His V-triggers are good. Yeah, in V-trigger, Kage definitely has the Oki though. V-trigger 2. Kage, oh, another thing, Kage's V-skill, his V-skill 1, where he has 1 hit of armor, very good against Falke. One of Falke's main buffers is her stand medium kick into shot. If Kage uses his V-skill 1, I can't really do that, because if he does V-skill 1, my stand medium kick will still be recovering before my shot comes out, so I get crush countered and then I eat a bunch of damage. So now in neutral, I have to start thinking, because you can beat it with lows, right? So in neutral, I have to start thinking, okay, what low am I going to use in the neutral, because I don't want him doing a random V skill and me losing because of it. So then I go to like crouch and medium kick. Now Falke crouch and medium kick isn't special cancelable, so now that makes the neutral less scary for Kage, because he knows that crouch and medium kick isn't going to lead into anything. Can't combo off of it, won't do anything. So yeah, then he can sort of find his ways in and stuff. But the problem with that is what happens, the problem for Kage is what happens before he gets into that V skill range, before he even gets into that range where he's scary. He still has to do with my zoning, which is of course difficult for Kage. And Kage low health, Falke big damage, can get zoned out. With V-Skill 2 on the screen, I use V-Skill 2 in that matchup. If I put V-Skill 2 on the screen, same with Akuma, he's got to deal with twice as much damage from anything he gets hit by. And the plus frames, and the Oki. So yeah, that matchup isn't ideal for Kage. Karen. I'm going to put Karen. Not here, sorry. Not right there. I'll put Karen right here, actually. I think Karen matchup is even. Now, Falke can zone Karen out, right? But again, Karen has probably one of, if not the best, one of the best whiff punishing buttons in the entire game. Now, you guys know I always come back to this. It's always going to come back to this, guys. Falke's recovery on her normals isn't good. Her hurt boxes specifically are not good. She gets whiff punished too easily. Now, a character like Karen will not let you get away with that. She will whiff punish you hard. Her walk speed is alright too. Walk speed is good. She walk in and out of those ranges, but her whiff punishes probably hurt the most out of any character in the game. Or any character I've listed here for now. Her whiff punishes probably hurt the most. Colleen's up there because she can't even get good whiff punishes from it. But yeah, her whiff punishes hurt too much. Her damage and stun, I can't deal with that if I'm just whiffing stuff out. But then again, you gotta have good spacing in this matchup. I can also just zone her out the whole game. Honestly, you can really zone her out the whole game and not let them get anything started. So it's kind of even. I think it's kind of even. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's kind of just straightforward because Karen can only play neutral. Karen can, her only approach is just to come in, play neutral, play to her ranges, and Falke outranges her. But she's got walk speed, which means she can actually get good whiff punishes on me if I'm not careful, and kill me in 2 hits. But on the other hand, I can also just zone her out very well, and I have V trigger 2 with V skill 2. The fact, if I didn't have V skill 2, this matchup would be in Karen's favor based on risk reward. But V skill 2 makes the risk reward a bit more in my favor as well, because I get plus frames and more damage from the V skill orb. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that as 5-5. I'm gonna leave that as 5-5. If Falke's hurt boxes get fixed and her recovery gets buffed, a lot of these matchups that are 5-5 would go up. They'll go up. Like one slot. They definitely would. A lot of these. Oh, we got Laura. Alright, Laura. We put Laura up here. Think Falke wins this matchup. Clap pressure can be stuffed with crouch light punch. I can DP through the claps. Laura has to take risks. She just has to do stuff to get in. The only issue with this matchup is when Laura does EX clap and then in V trigger she just walks behind it. But then again, I think almost any character in the game has to deal with that. I can low shot underneath the claps as well, from that mid screen and stuff. If she charges a clap and I'm close to her and I have V trigger 2 activated, I can actually do an overhead and get a full overhead combo in V trigger 2 for the clap. She gets outranges. The neutral's tough for her. She can actually whiff punish Falke pretty well with crouch fierce and crouch medium punch, but the neutral stuff for her in general. Neutral stuff. She kind of has to just rob you. I will say a good thing Laura has against Falke is jump light kick. Her jump light kick is really good against Falke. I have to use crouch fierce when majority of the time I'm actually holding down the fizz button for my shot. But yeah, that matchup is pretty simple. I have a lot of Laura players in Europe as well, so I get the training and I know that matchup well. No, it will. Man said 2 hits. Oh yeah, bro. Karen's mad, man. Karen is mad. Oh, Lucio. I knew there was another 6-4 I was missing. Alright, this Lucio matchup right here. I'm gonna put this up here. I think it's a 6-4 matchup. Lucio's fireball game isn't that useful against Falke. At full screen, I can easily just parry. Not parry, sorry. I can easily just V-skill 1 and reflect her fireball, her medium fireball. Heavy fireball doesn't do that much damage, and I can just block it and see it coming, like up close. Light fireball now is when it gets a bit tricky. I can try to jump the light fireball on reaction. Well, if I see it coming, I can try to jump it. I might get caught by the fireball and eat a combo. But if I see it coming, I can just choose to do catapult to go through it. Similar to, I can do that against, I can't even do that against Dawson, wow. Because Dawson can just space it right where it whiffs. But I can use catapult to go through the light fireball in between the gap. She's got the run. Her run stuff can work against Falke to gain ground. But in general, the neutral, she loses it. She loses the neutral in general. She can't really do too much. It's kind of like Laura, because Laura has to do a lot of fake stuff to gain fake pressure to make it scary. Same with Lucia. She can't just stick to the ground and play a basic game. She has to take risk and do a bunch of like run cancels, EX run cancels, establish a throw game. Whereas I'm sort of playing the neutral. I'm sort of just doing, I'm not doing too much. I don't have to overextend. I can just play a basic neutral game plan and just zone them out. Moving on to the next. Oh, we got Monat now. I'm putting Monat right here. Monat slightly wins this matchup. Now, in this matchup is so weird one, right? I think what puts Monat over the edge in this matchup is it's definitely the fact that my normals get whiff punished and hers don't get whiff punished as much. That's what puts Monat over the edge. In the neutral, right, I have to sort of walk in. I have to walk in at a further range. I have to walk in closer than she has to walk in before I can throw out a normal. You know, where my forward hard punch would reach, she could take another step back, and her stand face would reach. So that means I have to step into a danger zone before she has to step into a danger zone, which already means she's keeping me out, and I'm trying to get in. Right? Hope that makes sense. So when that's the case, I'm already fighting an uphill battle. I have to find a way in. Now, what Falke does that is really good in this matchup, if I can bait a lot of her anti-airs with my air shot, right? Until she gets EX bar where she can actually anti-air with EX soul throw, and then of course it goes through projectiles. But the thing is, if she has EX, there's a different mind game now that we're playing, because I play shivs in this matchup a ton, right? The mind game now is, if I jump in and decide to do a dive kick, an early dive kick, you've reacted to the jump and done EX soul throw, your EX soul throw is now whiffed, and now I get a grounded punish. So if the Falke player manages to establish a really good aerial approach game to make the Monat player scared to actually anti-air, then I get a lot of free jump-ins. Because you don't want to keep eating air fireball, especially because I use V-Trigger 1 and V-Score 2 in this matchup. You're going to eat a V-Trigger 1 air fireball, which leads into a combo when she's in trigger. Or you're going to try to anti-air, and I do the dive kick, and it whiffs. And now you eat a grounded punish regardless. So now the Monat player has to start doing stuff like, if I jump, you might slide, but then if you slide and I do the dive kick, you get caught on the way down, counter hit into a combo. But if I do a regular jump in or regular air fireball, you slide underneath, and then I get punished. So it's all sort of a mind game. But what gives Monat a bit of an edge is the fact that zoning wise, before anyone has meter, 99 seconds on the clock, round 1 start, it's an uphill battle for me because I have to find my way in more than she does. She can throw the orb, zone me out, I'm eating chip damage. But what does help out is the fact that if I use V-Score 2, right? If I use V-Score 2, I can throw out full screen at safe ranges and walk her down, because the V-Score 2 is on the screen and is also following her. So she's going to back herself into a corner sooner or later. So it's all about how much damage she can do to me before I back her into the corner, where she can actually stop me from using V-Score 2 effectively. And of course now, the other difference is, if Monat gets a huge life lead, Falke is she's kind of screwed, because it's hard to make that comeback. Because you're still going to approach it with that mind game of the jump in or the air fireball or the dive kick sort of thing, right? And that's not always gonna work out. It's not a legit approach. It's more of like a you're taking bets every time, right? Whereas Monat, she's got that V-trigger one. She can apply legit safe pressure, legit, like she can literally put V-trigger and start her offense at will, right? Whereas Falke doesn't really have that. That's what kind of puts her over the edge in this matchup, I believe. But yeah, what we got next? We look at chat real quick. Yeah, her V-trigger is very scary. It's very scary. Yo, thanks for the support today, guys. Nakali. Okay, where am I going to put Nakali? I'm going to put Nakali right here. 6-4 matchup in my opinion. Well, 6-4 in Nakali's favor. This matchup is difficult. First of all, Falke has no answer to V-skill 1, to ground pound, the ground slam. Falke has no answer to that apart from just jumping. So I can't really do low shots because I can't get it out if he's throwing ground slam, right? I can't throw out forward hard punch because it gets beat by ground slam. I can't really, it's hard to move. It feels a little bit like bull rug where it's just hard to move around on the screen in this matchup because of that one V skill. Nakali's jumping is very good, so it stuffs my anti-air a lot of the time. It's similar to Rashid as well. Stuffs a lot of my anti-airs. He's got the like jump dive as well, with stuffs anti-air similar to Kage. He's got a command grab. He's got good whiff punishing with buffer and stand medium punch into the disc guidance, I think it is. And then I get into the corner. I got to deal with Nakali stuff. Nakali is another character who can play really dry, similar to Blanca, similar to Honda. If he has that life lead, he can zone me out with ground slam, and there's not too much I can do apart from take risk from that point on. My V-triggers are not that useful against him as well. V-trigger 1, if I do an air fireball at a good range, he can still EXDP through the entire air fireball, which is very annoying. V-skill 2 will only be useful when I'm up close to him, or I'm actually out of range where my normals will reach. But if he's using ground slam, I don't even get into that range unless I'm walking and blocking. But then again, I'm probably sacrificing a bunch of damage trying to get in the first place. So yeah, it's crazy because I'm the zoner, but I end up getting zoned out. And to not get zoned out, I now have to just try dash in or do stuff to get in, which is all risky. Nakali can play a lot safer. And another thing, his crush counter buns are really good against Falkes. Stand heavy kick stuffs a lot of Falkes normals. Like when you finally get into that range, like you finally get into the range where you're like, finally I can start pressing buttons and start trying to whiff punish stuff. His stand heavy kick just crush counters you. It's actually crazy. It's a very good button. But yeah, that matchup is definitely, it's not great. It's winnable, but it's not good at all. Not good at all. I don't think it's quite Bullrog though. It's not quite Bullrog. Nash. I'll put this out here. I think Falke beats Nash. You know, the matchup is kind of simple. It's kind of straight to the point. Nash, of course, Nash would want to establish a zoning game, which you can't really do as much against Falke because Falke can easily use V-skill 1, reflect his fireballs. If he uses any sort of aerial approach, Falke can anti-air quite easily. The only thing is, when Nash has V-trigger, he can actually whiff punish a lot of my stuff with the activation, go behind, go the aerial V-trigger one. I can't throw any fireballs when he's got V-trigger 1 as well, because he can punish it at will from full screen, because he just teleports behind you. What's another thing? Nash's EX fireball is pretty good in the matchup, because he throws 2 fireball, and my V-skill 1 can only reflect 1 fireball at a time. So if I reflect 1 fireball, I still have to deal with the other one, and then he's walking behind it, or he's coming in. His corner pressure is quite good against Falke, actually. Falke, no free frame, it's kind of hard to interrupt some of the stuff, but yeah. He can definitely rush Falke down when he actually gets going. But the problem is, the neutral aspect, I've got better neutral, I've got better normals. My fireballs outzone his, unless he's using EX. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Not quite 6-4 though. Not quite 6-4 for Falke though. Poison. Okay. So we got Poison right here. So 6-4 matchup in Poison's favor. Poison is hard. You just get outranged You don't. She shuts down anything Falk really can do. It's just you have to play mind. You have to play mind games that barely work. Pretty much, you have to play mind games that barely work. Similar to Gal, you just play like you can do air fireballs, but then she has answers for it. She can V-score for it. She can do the upwards whip with trades with it, but then the trade isn't in your favor. You can barely throw out V-score 2s in neutral because her whip reaches so far. I'm definitely want to put this at 7-3, but I'm not. Her V-score her whip reaches so far you can't use V-score 2. V-score 1 is also useless because you're only going to use it on block or on hit, and on block you get punished, on hit you just get Vimia, but you'd rather use something more damaging when you actually get the hit instead of using the V-score. You rarely get to use your V-trigger 1 because she can overhead through it. She's got anti-projectile moves. You have to reversal against her, so sometimes you don't get trigger because she's using EX heart rate. You just don't get to get going in this matchup. It's a poor matchup for Falk. You don't really get to get going. She can punish forward half punch at max range once she has CA as well. So as soon as she has CA, you're already outranged and you can't use your best range move as soon as she has CA. So you're limited. Very limited. It's bad. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Poison is a better Falk. I mean, they're two completely different characters. They're not similar. Poison has stance switches and stuff. She has no DP. They're already two different characters to be compared. You can compare their zoning, that's it. But Falk isn't only zoning. Falk got dive kicks. Falk got all of that. They're just two different characters. Mika. Put Mika not there. I'll put Mika up here. Mika's up here. I'm gonna put Mika here because at round start, right, it's hard for Mika. Mika just have to take risks, jump in, slide in. Those are her only ways in, really. She doesn't have a great whiff punishing game against Falkiva. Her normals are short. She's got short limbs. She can't really do too much. When she gets in though, when she gets V-trigger and stuff, even before V-trigger, if she gets a knockdown, I can't really DP. She's got a bunch of strings. A lot of characters that have strings. A bunch of block strings that are all lights. Like, who's one? Karen can do like light kick, light kick, light kick. Birdie is doing light kick, light punch. A bunch of characters that have strings with lights. Like, they can change 3 different light buttons in the string. It's hard because it makes the fire player not want to DP because they can always just block right after. Yo, thanks for the follow there. They can always just block right after. So, and then the command grab will come at any moment as well. So it's a lot more risky for me to throw out a DP in that situation, if you know what I'm saying. Then with V-Trigger 1, she can get in at will. Max range, anywhere on the screen, she can actually gain an approach at will. Pretty sure she can do that against any character. So yeah, I'm always going to have to deal with some of the mixes in this matchup. You could put this at, it's not quite a 6-4 because... It's not quite a 6-4 because Mika can just... She has good punishes for forward half punch as well. She can do EX Peach on block. She can definitely do EX Peach on block at certain ranges. Similar to what Chun-Li can do and some other characters can do. I'm going to leave this at 5.5. I still think Falk has the advantage. Still think Falk's got an advantage there. Rashid. We have no Rashids here. We have no... I want to just put a question. I'm not going to put a question mark because I kind of know the matchup, but we still have no Rashids here. But I'm going to put this matchup at... Actually, put this right here. This matchup is not quite as hard as these guys. But yeah, Rashid has multiple ways he can win. He can play a rush down playstyle against Falk and it's very effective. He can also get a life lead and actually lame Falk out with his projectiles and normals, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, this matchup is difficult. You get steamrolled, similar with Cammy. You really get steamrolled. It's hard to deal with his air approach. If he's gonna do the dive, the eagle spike, the air eagle spike, he could also do the EX air eagle spike. He could do the delayed eagle spike. So similar with Akuma, depending on how he delays it, it depends on how I have to sort of delay my anti-air, which is weird. Of course, we all know Rashid's rush down pressure of EX whirlwind is really good. I can EX DP or jab in between his EX whirlwind. If it's well spaced, I can't really do too much as well. I have to kind of just hold it. And good Rashid players will just do it well spaced. They're not just going to give you a free punish like that. His V-Trigger 1 is an issue. V-Trigger 2 not as much. V-Trigger 1 is a huge issue because you just can't play the game. If Rashid activates V-Trigger 1, you just can't play the game for like a few seconds. And those few seconds, you might just die and get mixed up. You just have to hold the mix-up. So that's really annoying. And then if you get knocked down, then obviously Rashid pressure again. He just gets a lot of free stuff, a lot of free ways in, which is hard to deal with. Rashid's dash in general, it's not even a dash, it's a run. I don't even know why it's a dash. I don't know why why does Rashid have Ken's V skill as his regular dash? That's still insane to me, but regardless, his walk speed and his dash speed, run speed, whatever you want to call it, is really good against Falk, because what's a threat when he does that is when he goes into the run and then he does the mixer, but then he could also run and jump. So I'm looking for mixer, I'm looking for jump, and then he can backdash. He's got a bunch of mobility that confuses you when you're actually playing the neutral. It's hard to sort of be in the Rashid player's mind when he's moving like that. And then he's got good normals in general. He can just play neutral too. So yeah, that matchup is quite difficult. It feels like the Falk player always has to adapt to what the Rashid's doing, and the Rashid can sort of just do what they want. Ryu. Ryu. I'm gonna put Ryu. We're gonna put Ryu up there. First matchup 6-4. Ryu's fireable game can be effective at close ranges, but all I really have to do at those ranges is down back and walk backwards to gain my preferable ranges again. Because he's just going to throw EX fireball or throw fireballs in your face. If he throws any normal, he's getting whiff punish. He can't really jump. He has no super solid approach. He can't do what Ken does and throw a light fireball and walk behind it. His fireballs are too fast. I can just low shot his fireballs mid-screen. I dish out good damage. He does dish out good damage if he gets you though. But he can't play that super lame game without me being able to get in. If that makes sense. So someone like Honda, when he gets a life lead, he can sit on it against Falk. But Ryu can't do that too much. If he sits on it, I'm able to find a way in eventually. Because I can just deal with his fireballs and walk him down, block EX fireballs, just play cautious. Matchup is pretty straightforward against Ryu though. Pretty straightforward. We got Sakura here. We keeping Sim for last. This matchup, right here. This matchup's alright for Falk. It's not too difficult, As long as you don't let the Sakura player fully charge their fireball. Make sure you get a low shot in there or you get the jump. You want to interrupt that definitely, because if you let them charge it, then that's sort of their free way in. That's how they can sort of get in for free. You want to make sure you're interrupting that. I use V-Trigger 1 in this matchup. Simply because if I know that I'm late on the interruption for her fireball, I can do V-Trigger 1 low shot, the V-Trigger version. And that is a lot faster. And I get the knockdown for it as well, and not just a hit. So it messes up their flow. They don't really, it's hard for them to really get going. The good thing that the Sakura player does have though, their walk speed is incredible. Their walk speed is ridiculous. Walking in and out of ranges to get their whiff punish and stuff, they can definitely do that really well. But that doesn't change the fact that I have better range. I definitely have better range. She can't really change her jump arc. So if she jumps, I know that it's pretty much an easy anti-air. Her jumping is really good though, so I have to make sure that I'm early on it. Her jumping is really good and stuff Falk's normals. But it's still a regular jumping. It's not a dive kick. It's not like Poison's jump heavy punch, which is ridiculous. It's still a jump, which isn't going to change jump arc and stuff. Her corner pressure is really strong. I can definitely get good V-reversals and her crouch and medium punch into EX fireballs to get some like pressure off of me. I can get knockdowns and stuff off my V-reversals. It's not like a character like Karen, for example. When I reverse or Karen, it's hard for me to get knockdowns because she's just doing regular normals. She's not doing normals into cancels. Whereas against a character like Sakura, who's doing normals into fireballs, fireballs, I can actually get knockdowns, which is pretty good. So yeah, she gets zoned. She definitely gets zoned. What's another good thing? Right, I can't really press forward hard punch when she's really close to me because she can actually punish my forward hard punch with, I think it's medium DP. With medium DP. And of course, good walk speed, she can walk into that range where it's punishable. So I have to be careful with that. I have to use more crouch and medium punch than I do forward hard punch. I have to do that a bit more. Yo, what's up? Man like Sengan, fam. What's good? Seth. Alright, Seth. Seth. Okay. Seth is going right here. Seth is going right here. I'm going to put Seth right where, close to where G is with. Because this matchup is similar with G, right? Falke has some answers for the things Seth can do, right? Like axe kick and stuff. But the thing is, no character can really deal with axe kick because it's too fast. The human brain, people need to understand. People need to understand in this game, yeah? Like, just because a character has answers for something else, yeah? For another character's BS, right? And that opportunity comes for you to use that, to utilize that answer, and you don't utilize it, doesn't mean, oh, you didn't do it there, you should have done it. No, we're not robots, bruv. The human brain, yeah, sometimes you just cannot react fast enough to things, and that doesn't mean you need to train your reaction on it. Some things are not possible unless you're actually anticipating it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Falke can actually do a low shot against Seth's axe kick, right? She can do a low shot on the axe kick, and then the axe kick whiffs, and then the low shot hits, and I get a conversion from it. But it's not possible for a human to do that on reaction. You're reacting to Seth literally leaving the ground. As soon as he leaves the ground, not even on the way down, as soon as he leaves the ground, that's when I would be reacting to that. But then what if he just does a regular jumping? If he just does a jump light kick? Do you know what I'm saying? So there's answers, but it's not an answer. It's just something that you're able to do, but that is not realistic. You'll be taking a huge bet doing that. Against Seth too. Against Seth. Now, his strings into spin kick, Seth can't really do any string into medium spin kick or heavy spin kick because I can DP through it with my one button DP. I can punish his light spin kick relatively at every range except like max range. I can punish it with stand medium kick at almost every range except max range. Or maybe like super close to max range, but yeah. She can punish light spin kick pretty well. You have to space it well. I can punish light hands with stand light punch into catapult. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying they think Falke actually beat Seth, but I don't think so because the risk reward is crazy. Now, Seth has low health, but Seth is a very slippery character. And maybe if Seth didn't have a slide activating to trigger, maybe, but he does have that. And once he's got V-trigger, there's no stopping him from reactivating. What do we actually do to stop Seth from activating V-trigger? He's got the slide. We're not doing anything. He's going to activate, and then we're going to have to deal with the throw game. And then he dashes up after throw, and it's still safe. So we're eating stuff regardless. Regardless, we got to deal with what Seth's got to do. Regardless. Matchup is not... It's not great. Not great. The thing is, it can go either ways, right? But the thing is, I think Seth has too many different approaches. Seth can use V-Skill 1 so effectively in the matchup, I can't whiff anything. And then also, he can use V-Skill 2, which stops me from doing any V-Skill 2s, any like orbs, the V-Skill 2 orb Falke has. I can't do that in neutral when he's got V-Skill 2. I can't throw out air shots when he's got V-Skill 2. With V-Skill 1, I can't zone because he just sucks it in and then he gets Oki. And then for some reason, the move Seth takes from Falke is her standing shot. For some reason, when Seth absorbs Falke's standing shot and uses it, Seth is +3 on block, whereas Falke's standing shot is actually +2 on block. I don't know why he gets better frame advantage than the original character. That makes no sense, but yeah, that matchup is staying there. It's staying there. Urian, easy, 6-4. This matchup is a 6-4. Urian has too many E expression move Falke has to deal with. Anti-aerian EX knees with regular DP is not as consistent. You have to be super precise with the anti-air. Otherwise, you eat a trade. Either you lose or you just eat a trade that's not in your favor at all. Of course, Aegis. When he's got Aegis, I can't use forward hard punch at a lot of ranges. I can use it at like close to max range, but mid screen I can't use it because he punishes with Aegis all the time. Even V-Trigger 2 is useful against Falke in this matchup too. Yeah, Falke kind of gets steamrolled by Urine. It's crazy. Light headbutt is really good because Falke doesn't do well in -2 or 0 situations because he could do EX headbutt, 3 frames. I can't really punish those type of situations or challenge. It's difficult. It's really difficult for EX tackle, so I can't really whiff out V-score 2s because EX tackle will punish that all the time. Not even he could do heavy tackle or anything really. He's got too many full screen moves and it plays around with my zoning. It messes up my zoning. I can't establish a great zoning game unless I'm full screen. If I'm full screen, but then again, Urine has V-score 2, which actually outzones Falke. And then he's got V-score 1, where I can't meaty the character anymore. Because if I meaty, and he just does a wake-up headbutt, I lose. I have to meaty him with standing shot, which gives up some pressure that I want, because standing shot has pushback. So yeah, it's just a tight matchup. Very tight matchup. Infectious the robot. What we got here? Yo, man, like Shacks. Sorry, I ain't reading chat too much, guys. Just trying to get this over with. What else do we have? Bison. Oh yeah, Bison. Bison is just as hard as Burog in my opinion. Bison just as hard as Burog. Mainly for the same reasons, but Bison a bit different. I can't really establish a neutral game. Same way with Burog, where I have to deal with the dash traits all the time. It's kind of like I'm in the mix-up mid-screen from round start all the time. Yeah, I can't really walk forward. I have to play out a range. Like when I play Problem X, for example, I have to play out a range where if he does the scissors, right, it whiffs and I get a whiff punish. But then at that range, he just won't do the scissors. And if I step like one toe, literally one toe into that range, he'll do the scissors and then I get hit. So what do I really do to get in? I can't jump. He's got the anti-air. I can't dash. Scissors. Walk and block. I can get lucky with walk and blocking, but how many times do I need to get lucky before I get hit by trying to walk? I can't throw a low fireball. He absorbs it with V-Skill 1 and then he gets a better fireball to get in. What else? I usually beat Bison players because they just try to rush me down all the time. If you try to rush me down all the time, like in the neutral, you just start trying to dash in and rush me down. That gives me the opportunity to win. If you just play lame, I can't really do too much. Cannot do too much. Yeah, and then Bison just keeps it frame tight in block strings, couple baits, my DP here and there. It's just tough. Bison doesn't need to overextend as much. Doesn't need to. Does not need to. He's got a slide activate, so if I happen to have a life lead, that's always an option. Slide activate. Command grab, not command grab. Meaty, not meaty. Who knows? He's got multiple ways to win the game. Too many strategies against Falke, where Falke only really has one. So why exactly is the reason do they say Falke beat Seth? For the I don't get reasons. That's why I got a bit chatty with it, because I don't really get reasons as to why people were saying that. But yeah, I'm guessing it's because Falke, he has low health. Falke does good damage. We can beat axe kick with some things, but it's not consistent. And when it's not consistent, and we get hit once, we lose. But if we anti-air it, he'll still carry on doing it because he knows the risk reward. I don't know. We can DP through his spin kit, I guess. But the nature of the character is just not good. Alright, Zeku. Zeku's 5-5. Fitness matchups even. Old Zeku, I don't know who is easier to fight. I think both versions of Zeku is 5-5. Old Zeku can use the slam, the gram, to sort of zone out and stuff, but I have to stand outside of that range. And then some of the slams I can actually react to, so you might not want to throw out too many of those. He's got DPs, but I can bait DPs with dive kick. Young Zeku is when things sort of when it shakes things up, because he's got the slides, he's got the runs, he's got the good jump arcs and stuff. But the thing is, Falk struggles to keep up with the pace young Zeku likes to play at. I think young Zeku is the issue in this matchup. Falk struggles to keep up with the pace young Zeku likes to play at. With the slides, the throw game. As soon as he gets one throw, it's actually really, it gets really scary, especially in the corner. Oh, another thing. I don't know if it says forward heavy kick or down forward heavy kick that young Zeku has, but it's like, what is it? Is it plus one on block? I think it's that plus one on block. But regardless, I can't press a button there. I actually cannot press a button there. So yeah, it's real scary. I have to just sort of hold things. Young Zeku, I think, is the better Zeku against Falk. Young Zeku is the better Zeku. Old Zeku is sort of back to neutral, which I think Falk actually wins. What have we got here? All right, I think we've gotten to the final character. The final character. So you guys see that 8-2 slot. You see that 2 to 8 slot right there for this one character. This one character. One. Why? Wait. Before I even go through this, what is Dalsim? What is Dalsim? What is he? What archetype? What is Dalsim? Can someone tell me in my chat, what is Dalsim? What is his archetype? What is he? What is he? I actually want, what is Dalsim? Is he a zoner? No. Is he a rushdown character? No. Does he poke you up? No. What is he? I don't know what this character is. There's no explanation to what he does. What is this character? A zoner that has better mix-ups than Ibuki. A zoner that has better rushdown than Cammy. A zoner whose drills are harder to deal with than Cammy's EX dive kick. Longer ranges than poison. He has 3 different slides. Bro. Why does he have different variations to his slide? He's got the light slide, and then there's like the medium one, and then from full screen he could just do heavy slide and you get crushed into a mix. And then he's got Gill. What is Gill? Like, what is it? Third game is ridiculous. I can go on for days. What is this character? It makes no sense. What is he? But it's my no. But what it's -4. I'm not hearing nothing. What is this character? Get in that 8-2, bruv. Get in that 8-2, bruv. 8-2 matchup. I'm not saying any more. 8-2 matchup. I'm not hearing it. You can't get in. You can't jump. You can't, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You know what? Instead of me, look. Instead of me telling you guys what Falk can't do, right? You guys tell me. You guys tell me what Sim cannot do. Tell me what Sim cannot do. That's what I want to know. Tell me what Sim cannot do, bruv. I'm done with this.